President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election. He sought a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies, and I know where such lies lead. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. But what are we to make of those elected officials who have enabled his lies and his treachery?
Imagine a world where political chaos collides with celebrity drama so seamlessly, it makes you wonder if reality is being scripted by the writers of TMZ.
Why does the President of the United States cut after-school programs and cut from the kids out of their budget $1.2 billion? President Trump promised us that he wants to make America great again. That's not how you make America great. By taking $1.2 billion away from the children and robbing them blind?
Well, that world is today, and the latest showdown has tongues wagging, blogs buzzing, and the internet setting itself quite literally on fire. It goes a little something like this.
President Trump, I just saw your press conference with President Putin, and it was embarrassing. I mean, you stood there like a little wet noodle, like a little fanboy. I mean, I was asking myself, when are you going to ask him for an autograph or for a selfie or something like that? I mean, you literally sold out at this press conference our intelligence community, our justice system, and worst of all, our country. You're the President of the United States. You shouldn't do that. I mean, what's the matter with you?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, the Governator, the action hero turned politician, just dropped what might go down as one of the most unexpected celebrity burns of the decade. And the target, not Trump this time. No, the man took aim at Melania Trump. Yes, you heard that right. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Melania Trump. A beef nobody saw coming, but everybody can't look away from.
People have made some comparisons of your candidacy in 2003 and Donald Trump's today. What similarities do you see, and what are the differences?
Well, I think that, I don't really study that much of, what is the difference between Donald Trump and my candidacy. I study much more the field polls and the USC Schwarzenegger polls that we've just done about what do the people really think.
It has all the elements of a classic internet spectacle, political power plays, viral memes, and just enough absurdity to remind us that, no, life in 2025 is not a fever dream. Or maybe it is, and we're all watching in HD. Or maybe it is, and we're all watching in HD. So what happened? Let's rewind and break it down. The saga begins with what was supposed to be a quiet, harmless interview about politics and climate change. You know, standard Schwarzenegger fare, the biceps, the solar panels, the make this world better pep talk that he delivers with the energy of a motivational poster on steroids. But somewhere in that conversation, the interviewer casually, perhaps naively, asked Arnold about political leadership in 2025.
I think it is funny that he uses a prayer breakfast. I think, plus, I have thick skin. I mean, this doesn't bother me at all. And it's very funny, and it gave me an opportunity to then go and shout back and say, that the show didn't do well because 1/3 of the audience left because they boycott the show because you're the executive producer, Donald Trump. If you would have just not opened up your mouth and tell everybody that you're the executive producer, we would have had really great ratings on the show. But the advertisers left, the audience left. They hate the guy. So they left, and so I was caught in the middle of this political thing there. I said, that's why I said I'm not going to do the show again.
And that's when Arnold Schwarzenegger, with the finesse of a winking emoji and the bluntness of a sledgehammer, lets slip the line that sets the internet ablaze. At least I never had to hide behind my wife. The studio audience doesn't react immediately. The interviewer gives an awkward laugh, probably thinking it's just another throwaway quip. But as we all know by now, the internet doesn't miss a beat. Within minutes, Arnold's soundbite is trending, rendering hasta la vista, Melania the unexpected meme of the week. TikTokers are remixing the phrase with battle cries from Terminator combined with obscure movie soundtrack bits. Twitter erupts into a frenzy. Meme accounts work overtime to churn out photoshops of Arnold holding up signs that say, "Free Melania." And before you know it, late-night hosts are begging for a response from the Trump household. But here's where it gets juicy. Arnold leaves the burn hanging in the air, offering no follow-up statements or clarifications. The man just smirks, like he knows exactly what he's done and enjoys he's watching the chaos unfold. Does it make him look cooler? Yes. Does it send the internet into speculative overdrive? Absolutely. Now let's pause for a second and ask the obvious question. Why Melania? Of all the ways Arnold could have thrown shade in Trump's direction, why did he zero in on the notoriously stoic former First Lady? Some corners of the internet have their theories. Maybe it's a delayed reaction to Melania's infamous, "I really don't care, do you?" jacket moment from years ago. Perhaps Arnold's been holding on to some weird grudge involving a charity gala snub, or a Whole Foods argument over protein shakes. Or is this simply Arnold bored out of his mind watching his pet donkey graze, deciding it was time to lob a verbal grenade into the celebrity political void for entertainment? But hold on, what if this isn't random at all? What if Arnold is making a bigger statement? A theory begins bubbling. Call it the privilege of silence hypothesis. You see, Arnold has spent years calling out corrupt politicians, climate change deniers, and systemic injustices. His brand is rooted in speaking truth to power, punching up, and occasionally flexing while doing it. Melania, on the other hand, has perfected the art of silence. A polite smile here, a raised eyebrow there. Her ability to remain detached, unbothered, and absent from public accountability has in many ways become her signature move. And Arnold doesn't do silence. It goes against the blood and sweat ethos he's built over decades. What if his jab wasn't just aimed at her, but at the broader idea of silent complicity, at the political and social privilege of staying out of the fray while chaos unfolds? He's not just throwing shade, he's throwing down the philosophical gauntlet. Naturally, Trump doesn't let this moment pass unnoticed. The man hasn't met an insult he couldn't turn into an all-caps Twitter rant. Hours later, the internet is treated to a classic Trump meltdown, calling Arnold a washed-up loser and proclaiming that The Apprentice was a total disaster under him. Oh, and of course, throwing in some choice words about Hollywood elites, because what's a Trump tirade without the Hollywood diss? But what's truly baffling, and let's face it, entertaining, is that Trump defends Melania, a woman whose public appearances over the last decade often resemble the buffering screen of someone midway through divorce papers, has suddenly become Trump's white knight motive for ranting. Is he genuinely upset? Or is this just another excuse to get his name in the headlines? Either way, the internet eats it up. By now, the memes are uncontrollable. They span everything from Arnold glaring in full Terminator mode to Melania plotting her escape while clutching a designer handbag. More conspiracy theories emerge. Arnold's roast wasn't just a random jab. It was part of a secret Austrian revenge plot involving plant-based protein powder and late-night talk show mentions. The deeper question, however, is this: has celebrity feuding become America's new coping mechanism? Here's a thought. In a world crumbling under political chaos, social divides, and technology threatening to replace half the workforce, watching two celebrities spar online is weirdly reassuring. It's like petting a feral cat shaped like entertainment. Dangerous, pointless, but oddly comforting in its absurdity. The entire saga raises some profound questions. Does silence equal complicity? Does celebrity drama matter in a world so chaotic? Or are we merely deflecting from bigger issues by turning Arnold Schwarzenegger and Melania Trump into the year's most unexpected headline? Whatever the answers, one thing is certain. Arnold Schwarzenegger may never need to say, "I'll be back again," because moments like this prove he never really left. For now, the internet waits, eagerly refreshing Twitter timelines, wondering if Melania will abandon her usual stoic silence for a clapback of epic proportions. Perhaps something like, "Arnold, stick to action movies. The rest of us prefer leaders with better PR skills." But let's face it, even if Melania stays silent, Arnold has already won the round. In the dystopian, bizarre world of 2025, Arnold versus Melania might just be the most strangely perfect distraction yet. And honestly, we'll take those popcorn moments while we still have them.